might go to sleep on that Lamar fast break.
Mike Oliver's record set 30 years ago has gone by the board.
Did he make the one-handed catch?
Yes,
Touchdown Cardinals!
That's Marcus
Jackson!
It's the 2012 Southland Conference Basketball Tournament, March 6 through 10 in Katy, Texas. Call or go online for tickets. It's tourney time.
Very good, man. It feels wonderful, man. I never thought we'd get to this point, man. It feels so good, man. Like as I'm growing up, man, I just never thought about being like a really good champion. So I mean, we bring it home. You know what I'm saying, Lamar Cardinals.
Real crazy. It's been up and down. It's been a lot of media. It's been a whole bunch of stuff. But I think that's a tribute to us to stay level-headed and stay confident, stay competing, and get our head on straight. And now we East Division champ.
Hey, I won't interrupt. These guys know how to win, so I'll let them talk.
I think each other. I mean, we really bonded together and said we want to win. I mean, we always knew we wanted to win. I feel like we was having a good season before that game, but we just had a real bad game. And I think we banded together, and we're here now. We're ready to play, and we're going to Katy. I think that might have speeded up the process, but I think, yeah. But I mean, we were always together. I think we just had our. I mean, like any team, we're a family. I mean, families bicker at each other, families fight, but at the end of the day, we're family. So we're gonna come together and we're gonna play. It's big. I mean, especially McNeese, they're a good team. They got a lot of good players, and this is just a big game just to win for us, the community, for Lamar, for everybody, and just to have momentum going into Katy is big. It felt like we was in Louisville again or somewhere like that. I mean, of course, not to the you know largeness. Yeah, but the noise at some points felt like we was back in Louisville, Kentucky, Ohio State. I mean, we were loud, we were here, and Lamar. We're a veteran group. We got right now. I think we got a lot of heart. And I think there's so much pride on this team to just let a game like that, especially a championship level game, just to slip away. I think we just grew as a team, and right now we're real ready. I think right now it's probably the best basketball we played all year, personally. I mean, we're sharing the ball, we're all rebounding, we're all moving, cutting, playing defense. I mean, if you look at it that aspect, it's the best basketball we're playing all year.
Yeah, I would make up my mind because it was like they had confidence and they was getting too close, man. And I just made my mind. I was like, I got to drive the ball as soon as I get it because Coach was telling us just drive the ball, and they couldn't really stay in front of us. So I just kept driving and got easy baskets.
Confidence, and especially defense. I mean, defense creates a lot of offense. I know that's kind of like a cliche, and a lot of people like to say it, but if you play in defense, you can score easy buckets, and then you get momentum, you get blocks, rebounds. It just creates so much atmosphere just for you to score, and so defense has really helped us out. No, at halftime he just said, remember the Texas State game? We had them at 21. And they got it down to 8 at one point. He said that they're a good team, so they're gonna make runs. We just gotta sustain the runs and keep fighting.
Yeah, that's it's like Coach always say, just drive the ball, man, and they gonna fire you. So I mean, man, that's what we were doing. We just getting the rebound and going, and just getting like they'll foul and then we go to the line and shoot free throws. I mean, we had a good free throw night, a little. What our percentage was?
70.
We had 70%. Yeah, we averaging 70 on our free throws, so we did a good job today.
I feel like early in the season it was a new system. I feel like we were scared to step on each other's toes, and I think now when we do say something to somebody, they don't take it as to the heart, or you know what I'm saying. They just kind of take it in stride. Like if you say we got to get a stop, and somebody say it to you, then just man up and get a stop. More communication. I mean, it's good to win this game. We're gonna be happy. We're gonna focus on it right now, but I mean, tomorrow's a new day, and we got a new game to focus on tomorrow.
All the best. This is the best. By far. I mean, and this is the best group of kids I've coached all together. You know, people got to understand when I got on them after that press conference, yeah, they're the worst seniors that day. And only 2 other days. You know, I Nichols up there, then Arlington here. But, you know, the majority of the rest of the season, they were great seniors. So that's pretty darn good. Believe me, I was a lot worse coach this year than they were, you know, because 11 losses were mine. So there's 11 times I didn't think I was a very good coach. So, but these kids have been great. They're tough kids. They're fun to coach. I mean, I see a lot of myself in them too because, you know, I've told you guys I was no angel to coach. I drove my dad nuts. I mean, to the point where he had to kick me off for drinking once. So I know where they're at, but as a coach, you don't want them to do the same mistakes you did, or if they do, you don't want them to do it again. But this has been a fun bunch of coaches. Now, there have been a handful. I mean, if Six Flags called me right now and asked me to name a ride after my roller coaster ride, it wouldn't surprise me because these guys just, you know, they're up and down. You just never know what you're going to get from them. But I'll tell you one thing, they're tough, they're relentless, they play defense, and they rebound. And they've been unbelievable. And it was so. And I told them before the game, I was like, guys, you know, not many people get these type of moments in their life. And the reason is because the majority of people are lazy. I mean, you got to sacrifice, you got to work hard. And the only reason they're in this position is because that's what they've done since we went to Canada. I mean, these guys have bought in, have sacrificed, have worked hard, and you know, they get the credit. You know, the coaches, we just push the button. I mean, that's, you know, but we're not the guys out there scoring the points. We're not the guys winning the games. We do all our work during practice. And trust me, and I hate these coaches. It's all, you know, it's all about them. There's not one coach that's won without good players. You can't do it without good players. So I have good players. That's why I won. Trust me, I don't care who you are. I even kid my dad about that. Dad, you had some pretty darn good players to help you win all those games. Even though I think you're a great coach, you still had good players. And when it gets done, all said and done, I mean, I'll look back on this group, and I mean, I have stories to tell, but it'll be about toughness. It'll be about, you know, overcoming, you know, a team that hadn't won. You know, we're kind of like the island of misfits. You got a group of kids that never won. You got a coach that got fired. You put them together, and they end up winning. So I guess maybe we changed the formula on how to do things. But I'm just happy for these guys. Look on their face today and after today, because, you know, senior night's special. Number one, I mean, you want to get a tradition where you win all the time on senior night. I remember my senior night. I can tell you, I actually hit 2 buckets senior night. I can tell you exactly where they were. I can tell you the last play I had. I got 2 pictures of senior night in my office. And so it's something you always remember. So I wanted that for these guys. Plus, they're playing for something, playing for the division and the 20-win season. And so this is something nobody can ever take away from. You know, greatness, no matter how brief, will always stick with somebody. And this is something these guys can always remember. This night is how this season went for them. I was impressed, but I was worried because, and I talked to him at halftime, this is a good team. And then you got a kid who could be the best player in the league in Richard. You know, we got 21 at Texas State, let him come back to 8. And so I had to score up on the board and warn them, and that's exactly what happened to us. I mean, I knew McNeese was not going to give up. But what our guys do, though, I mean, they let them get close, then we make a big play. When it counts, instead of just totally folding. You know, I'd love to win by 34, but I knew that wasn't going to happen. But getting the momentum in the second half, I think that helped them confidence-wise when they did make a run, you know, thinking to themselves, hey, we were up on this team. Let's get – and the guys were great. And, I mean, I didn't – you know, I'd call a timeout and get on them a little bit, but, I mean, they policed themselves. I mean, getting on each other, we got to get rebounds, and that's what I've really liked, especially these last 3 games. There's an extension of the coaching staff. Yeah, but, boy, this conference – I mean, I'd rather play somebody from another conference if I had my choice, just because this is – I think the 8 teams that make it have a shot at it. I don't think there's a favorite. And so now it's going to be really careful how we manage our time, rest our legs. You know, I'm going to let these guys deserve to enjoy this tonight, tomorrow, because we got to take the day off because of the NCAA rules. But then Monday, we got to go back to the, you know, same type of practice we have every Monday, break down, start from scratch. And going to have to get them their head back on even keel. But I'd rather have it being that way than a team that's, you know, deflated and is hit a tough spot. Because it's always better to have momentum than not. Crowd's unbelievable. Crowd's been great all year. I mean, you got to build that. I got to prove to them the product we're putting on the floor, and I thought the crowds got better every game. But this was great. I mean, this just shows the support you have in this community and just the way the people are around town. I wish my dad could have been here, but he's got to do the Texas-Kansas game, and he actually tried getting out of ESPN, wouldn't allow him out. But the funny thing is, I actually got a guy named Bill Helke. You'll see him out there. He was on my dad's first West Point team. And so my dad called him last night and said, Bill, you call me every 5 minutes. I want an update on that game. And so Bill had to call my dad during the game and give him an update. So it was good. Well, you're always learning by yourself. I mean, just learning to get better. I mean, I got to get better from this year. I think coaches got to get better every year. But I learned some things that I changed from, I said not coaching scared, not putting up with BS when I was at Tech, and I changed that here, and it works. But these kids, I mean, this level. I did a interview with Bruce Pearl the other day, and take out what happened at the end, trouble inside. He's always treated me well, and good coach, and did a great job at a Division II school and in the Rise League in Milwaukee. We talked about coaching at this level nowadays is more fun because all these kids have a chip on their shoulder. You can coach them, you can discipline them, you can make a difference in their lives because they don't have street agents. They haven't been coddled by their AAU coach. Didn't buy them, and this is like the purest form left. And then at a smaller school, your administration you're closer to. It's just a better atmosphere, especially for the way I coach. Now, some people say, hey, I want to go to another big school, fine, but not for me. Not what I was taught and everything from a coaching standpoint. You can really coach and get after guys. And that's why I like it. These kids are blue-collar kids, hard workers, and I told them tonight, before the game, if they take their approach that they did this year, they can go out in the world and they have no problems. They're going to find out. And we all found out after playing for my dad, you get out in the real world, people are lazy. And if you have a work ethic, you're just already so much ahead of people. And I remember guys, we'd call each other, but man, everything Coach did. I mean, it's easy out there if we just take the same kind of work ethic. And I think these guys will see that. I mean, they'll get out there. And but now we got the tournament and everything and in the postseason, but then after that, the fun's really going to begin. I got to try to get 6 guys graduated, and I really can't punish them because they're done playing. So I got to figure out a way. We're going to bring them in every day and everything. But that's another part of these guys too. It's not just what we do in the season. I want 6 guys to get a degree. New seniors, I liked them for every game except Nichols, at Arlington, and Stephen F.A. here. But I didn't like myself for at least 11 of those games, and then probably a few more when we won. I liked what. So they're doing a lot better. I like them a lot better, and I liked some of my coaching. So, and I tell you what, I'll coach another 20 years, won't be able to throw a team under the bus like that and have them respond. I mean, I'm not dumb. I wasn't going to throw a team on the bus that couldn't respond and let the season, but these guys respond. I mean, if we had a book, basketball manual, just do it opposite. It's like, and I've said this, I've quoted this to Bob. It's like dealing with Colonel Clint. You ever see Hogan's Heroes? You just do the opposite. I mean, it's a great bind, and I'll never have a team like that. But now what happens now, if I ever have a team, even with my own kid, say if I have a son, he's soft or complaining, I'll be like, hey, let me tell you about this group I threw under the bus. National. They won 3 games in a row in a division. Didn't complain once, came back even stronger. And you're going to complain about this? No, that's not going to happen. So these guys go down to my folklore. I'll be 70 years old sitting in a bar in Florida talking about these guys. So I'm proud of them. But I don't get this myself. I had tough coaches in high school, prep school, and college, that didn't have any problem putting foot to butt. But what I got out of it, got a degree. I got a damn good job now because of it. But it took him a while to get through to me. But that's part of our job. He's my leader, and he has to be. And we had a great. And maybe I should have called him in before, or hey, maybe I should have throw these guys on the bus earlier in the year. But he and I had a great talk that next day, Thursday, and I probably should have done it beforehand. But I just explained to him, you're the point guard. You have to be the leader. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I mean, it's like being the pitcher. It's like being the quarterback. If you want to be in that position, you got to be the guy. And we had a great conversation. He's been good all year. Don't get me wrong. And then I put James and him together as one of the best backcourts I've been around. If you look at their production, as a player, as a coach, head coach, assistant, those two are darn good. And Lamb's the best 6-foot power forward I'll ever see in my life. But Miles turned it up a notch. He was good and went from good to great these last 3 games. I mean, he was an extension. I'm calling timeouts, and he's taking over, and I don't have to say it. And that's what you need. I mean, that's what you need from an extension when I say extension of the coaches. He had to. That's a big guy. Just knocked him down. Yeah. But he didn't
He kept shaking his
Yeah,
wrist.
and he's had a problem. He's been jamming his thumb and his wrist in practice. But I mean, the kid didn't come out, didn't even complain. So, I mean, he took a hard shot too. So, everyone, he wanted everyone, and they've been that way, especially the last 3 games every time out. Now, before that, it'd be every once in a while, but that's one of the things we're trying to harp on him about. And no, I'm telling you, it's like 5 guys. It's almost got to tell them to shut up so I can say something, but I don't because they're actually making sense. They're talking about we could switch this, or don't get on the high side of this guy, or let's just back off. I mean, they've been really attuned to what we want done. I think so. And plus, after today, with the confidence in these kids, it should. But I'm not going to let up. I'm going to let them know that. I mean, we'll hit them hard Monday, just regular practice, all our breakdown drills that they hate from a defensive standpoint. But yeah, I mean, the season's not over. I mean, we still got, tournament coming up, and then hopefully postseason. So, and, the good thing nowadays too, say you don't win the tournament, the NIT's not going to take another team. It's sad, but the NIT should take a couple teams from this league. But they're going to take probably an 8th or 9th place finish from the Big East. So they started those, the CBI and the CIT tournament. We've already been invited to those. And so I think we'll definitely be in some type of postseason, which is great. We definitely want to make the NCAA. But, 2 guys started 2 tournaments up because a lot of us in these smaller leagues get looked over. So hopefully, we continue our streak, but then no matter what, hopefully we're playing somewhere. Yeah, man, probably should have doubled down a little bit. And get the ball out of his hands. But I think they beat you on 3s, so we kind of wanted to give up 2s instead of 3s. So, but you're exactly. I mean, we're gonna have to look at that. I mean, we need to give our guys some help. But that's my fault. I mean, we didn't double down once, and we work on it. But we just thought, man, let's just let him shoot over us because if Rashard gets going or Mitchell. But yeah, we got to look at that, and we need to work on some of that because people are gonna see that and start going inside on us.